Hey everybody, welcome to another video review by 520fishing.net. My name is Moose. I'm going to be shooting your video again today. And today we're going to do Lucky Tackle Box for December 2015. I was actually quite surprised when I initially opened this box. I felt like, honestly, Lucky Tackle Box kind of picked up their game a little bit. And I think that they're really starting to make a bigger impact, especially with some of the other competition that's coming around. I know there's a new company that's getting ready to release another tackle box, and good for them, because I do enjoy these Lucky Tackle Boxes. Obviously, we got the contest card. It's the monthly contest. Take a photo of you and your Lucky Tackle Box, post it on Facebook or Instagram, and use Lucky Tackle Box, and you could win a Daiwa rod worth $100. I'm always up for another, I'm always up for another rod. So this month we got some 1/0 Mustad Ultra Point no twist shot hooks. This is a 5-pack, and these are, just so you guys know, let me show you here. These are the ones, and I have mixed feelings about these hooks. In the beginning, when I really got into drop shotting, and these things kind of came around the area of being used, like I said, I really kind of had mixed feelings, but it seems like they've made some big improvements on these hooks. So what I'm going to do is, can you see the little... Yeah, well, let's see. Let's get you into some dark. So you can see by that, they actually have a little snaps or a ball swivel on these hooks now, not just some kind of pass through. So when these hooks are being held in line, the hooks are actually bent to kind of stand up. Well, it will when it's tied up, but it is the no twist, which, for all of you that drop shot, you know what I'm talking about. You want to talk about a frustrating day on the water sometimes. You know, when you're casting that drop shot out, especially if you're shooting on the move, like, we do a lot on Lake St. Clair. And when you're on Lake St. Clair, you're not just sitting there with a drop shot in the water waiting for fish to swim by. You're using your trolling motor a lot. If anything, just to keep up with the current that's out there, the waves. So you're a lot of times I'm making a throw to a spot, and I'm kind of working my action, then I'm bringing it back in, and what happens is you're bringing it back in, your line twists because of the way the lure's hanging off the side of your rig. Which causes line twist. So the next thing you know, now you're starting to throw out, and you're not getting those same long casts. You're starting to get a little bit of nesting coming out of your spinning gear. I throw a drop shot on spinning gear. I've got friends that throw it on bait cast gear. I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm just saying to me that's what spinning gear is for. But whatever, different conversation. But to have something like these Mustad hooks that actually have that swivel built right into them, where it's stopping that line twist, is really and these aren't brand new, so don't take it that way, but it really is a good way to fish your drop shots. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to shooting these in the spring. Actually, here we are. It's December 12th, 2015. I think it's the 12th, and we're still in open water, so I could be out drop shotting later on today. I probably won't be. Matter of fact, I'm pulling a boat out today. But yeah, a great idea there. We have a Pacemaker by V&M. This is a Cliff Pace half-ounce jig. 2013 Bassmaster Classic champion. Nice little jig. You can never have too many jigs. I'm going to tell you, I fought the jig thing for so long. I know. But I did. I fought the jig thing hard. I didn't want anything to do with jigs. I didn't have a lot of good luck with them when I was a younger fisherman. But as soon as I took the time to kind of work into fishing a jig, I really experienced a whole new awakening to jig fishing. This is looks like a football head. It is a football head with a flat bottom, which is kind of nice. Nice big hook on there. Let's see if it says what kind of hooks these are. It does not talk about the hooks, but it does say a custom built oversized 30-degree hook that allows for better hook sets. The other thing that I really look at in my jigs is how soft the actual weedless guard is. Sometimes I get some of these things and their weed guards are so stiff that, I mean, granted, it's not getting hung up on anything, but I'm going to tell you, they're so stiff that, like, I think I miss more fish because they're so stiff. So either I end up cutting half of them out, but this one actually has a really nice, I'd say it's right on the money. It's not too stiff, it's not too soft. I feel like, you know, it can push the weeds out of the way, no problem. But at the same time, a fish comes up and bites into that thing, I think you're in business. So nice little jig, nice one to add to the box. So here we have, that's kind of weird that it's got plastic on it. We have a live target gizzard shad. This is a pretty small one actually, but there is an application for that. I think that's a good, you know, honestly, smallmouth or even crappie. You know, I mean, I don't know if you guys have crappie wherever you guys are. Most people do, but here in Michigan we do have a good population of crappie, and you know, small crankbaits like that work wonders for crappies up here. We have really good luck especially on my lake, with crappie on those. So nice live target bait. Can never have enough of those. I mean, you know, go to the store and buy a live target. I mean, that by itself is, you know, $10, $15 lure. They get pretty expensive up here. We have a Rick Klunz Classic Suspending. This is looks like a pretty shallow diver. Let's see if it says here. It is a jerk bait, but nice little suspension bait. Nice little spring bait. Got some rattles in it. 3 trebles. And let's see here. This one actually came the box fell apart in the shipping, but this is a Fish Hound 2 to 5 foot 2-inch 1/4 ounce crankbait, which, like I said, can never really have enough crankbaits. I think Fish Hound makes a pretty decent little crankbait. Let's see here. Well, that's kind of interesting. There's a piece of plastic floating around the inside, and I'm not sure why, but it does have a single steely in the front in its own chamber, so it should weight it down in the front, make it a little easier to, you know, dive, you know, nose dive and stay nose dived, which is kind of nice, especially if a fish comes up from, you know, the bottom. Kind of makes it a little more aerodynamic to fit in their mouth. I know it sounds kind of funny, but I think about stuff like that. It kind of drives me crazy sometimes. But nice little kind of shad color, clear with a little bit of brown on the back. That's going to be a nice little bait to throw. Hey, Tackle Warehouse. Tackle Warehouse $5 gift card. Can't ever beat those. Not going to show you guys my enter code because it could be different than yours, and I want to take advantage of that $5. Baitmate, Fish Attractant. You know, one thing I love is I love getting these things, right? Because, you know, I do have some baitmates that I run, and but at the same time, a lot of times what'll happen is I'll either leave it in the boat and then I jump in somebody else's boat. And I always keep a few of these in my tackle bag, my travel bag, just in case, because you never know. And they're just really nice and convenient. This little pack right here will last me most of a day. I know people are like, wow, it's not very much. Well, you really don't need a lot if you just kind of take it. What I usually do is I take it, pour a little bit on my lure, and then I rub it all over my lure. So, like I'll put a little bit on the crankbait, and then I just kind of rub it in, kind of all over it. Not that I'm trying to use it on crankbaits. I mean, most of the time we all use it on plastics. I get it. But I have been known to throw it on crankbaits. And just to kind of soak it down a little bit, and then I'll take that crankbait and I just kind of lay it out in the sun for a few minutes and let it kind of dry up a little bit. And then as it's coming through the water, especially in a school of fish, so if I'm locating some fish with some plastics, the bait goes cold or the bite goes cold, I'll pick up that crankbait. It's already got the attractant on it, make my cast, and I might get 3 or 4 of those casts in while I'm cranking back before all that bait mate dissolves off the hard plastic. So that's always a good thing to keep in stack. Lucky Tackle box, beer cozy. Just so I happen to have an empty beer can right here. There you go. So can't ever have too many of those. Not that I really use them. I'm kind of one of those guys that's like, man, if you're drinking that slow, I mean, you want a straw? I just drink my beers faster than that. I don't ever let them get cold. Let's see here. We've got some Cabin Creek 1/8" spider heads. Now this is kind of cool because they actually gave me some small salty spider parts, right? So these are made by Cabin Creek, and these are the little jig heads that hold them. Now, for those of you that have never seen these before, you might be saying, well, what's a spider? What's a spider part? Well, let me show you. So these, I personally think these things are really cool to have, actually. I really enjoy throwing these things. So what you have, in essence, is a small little jig body with some tails, and then you have your spider parts. So how you would rig this, and I hate to do this because I hate to waste baits, but I'll just put the whole thing back in this box over here. Let me show you here. These things are really fun to use, especially, I'll tell you. Alright, I'm going to let you guys in on one of my little secrets. Some of you guys are like, oh, I've been doing that for years. Well, so have I. So, I mean, I get it, but some people have not, and this is going to be a really cool thing for them to see. Now, if you look at this jig, it's not like a normal jig. You can see you've got your barb here, but then in the front, you've got this other little section for holding on to the spider top. So what you actually do is you take your little spider jig part, and it's actually got a hole right through the center of it. So you're not really pushing through plastic, it's just wide open. And you take that, and I have a tendency, I like to wet mine a little bit just so they don't rip and tear. You push that on. So now what you have is you have a little jig with a spider skirt on the front. Everybody see that? Okay. Then you take your little plastic bait and you thread it on just like you would like a grub or or any one of your other plastics on a jig. So in essence what you end up with is a little bait like that on a little jig head like that, right? Now I'm going to tell you when I like to throw these. The spring right into beds drives them nuts when it's a finicky bite, right? Now I know a lot of people are like, in the spring. I agree. There's a time for that in the spring. In the spring. Yep, I agree with that too. There's a time for that. But every once in a while, you just need something nice and small and subtle that kind of irritates those fish just a little bit more. Those. The other time I like to throw these, smallmouth. Smallmouth, for some reason, these things seem to really work very well with smallmouth. So I will chuck that into smallmouth. I will chuck that for crappie. Honestly, even some bigger panfish will hit this, but this is a amazing bait. I generally swim these kind of slowly. I'll let them sink to the bottom, kind of swim them up a little bit, sink, swim. When this thing's going through the water, all these little tentacles kind of lay back and flutter around in the water. Man, it really is. It's a great little bait to try. I think last year was the first year that I fished these, and I really enjoyed being able to utilize them. And as a matter of fact, I'm just going to put this other one in here too. I don't think you'll be disappointed if you try these guys out. Cabin Creek is definitely something that I wouldn't overlook. You know, they don't have that big flashy packaging like some of the bigger companies, and a lot of times people will overlook subtle little baits like this just because of packaging. Well, let me tell you, it's not about packaging. I don't want to pay an extra $1 for a bait because the packaging's all flashy. I want to pay for baits that actually produce fish. Well, I can tell you, Cabin Creek's really kind of cracked that down. They really do have a great line of baits. Check them out. I mean, and like I said, you know, before, I don't get paid by any of these guys. I'm just trying to give you guys my insight of what I enjoy and what works for me. Here we go. Hula sticks from our friends at Z-Man. Hula sticks for me are bittersweet, and I'm going to tell you why. Because up here in Michigan, we have a thing, and they're called Northern Pike. And I like to fish bass with these, but pike really like these too. So I end up snapping a heck of a lot of baits off, just trying to get one, you know, off one of these. So for me, like I said, it's kind of a bittersweet. They do work. They do produce good bass. These little baits are very stretchy. They will last a long time, especially if they're weighted. You can see how stretchy those things are. They really stretch well. They hold up very well. But one word of caution. When these things get waterlogged, they float. Okay? They float. So if you're going to throw something like this, having a heavier weight is definitely to your advantage to fish it on the bottom. These work really well with the any kind of like bottom, you know, bait. Why am I drawing a blank here? Hold on. It'll be listed right here. It'll be listed right here. Oh, I thought it would be. Oh, Ned rig. Sorry, Z-Man. But yeah, Ned rigging. You know, hey, even everybody has a brain fart once in a while. But Ned rigs with these are amazing. I do throw it on a heavier Ned rig because, like I said, I want that bait to shoot to the bottom. Man, when that thing lands, I want it to go right to the bottom. I want those fish to see it darten down. A lot of times that'll mimic, you know, even a shad or a goby just kind of shooting down to the bottom. And a lot of times I'll get my hits on the way to the bottom. So as you know, as soon as I know that thing's hit the bottom, and I fish it on 6 to 7, maybe 8 pound line, and you know, and I'm starting to do my hops back towards the boat. A lot of times either you get a ton of slack because that fish has already got it and is swimming at you, or swimming, you know, in some fashion back your way. So a lot of times you got to be ready to crank up that slack and set that hook. But Ned rigs with a heavier head, these baits work really, really well on. I'm actually developing kind of my own technique to doing it and my own rigging stuff. And I'll share that with you guys once I have a little bit more time this upcoming season in 2016 to kind of perfect it. But I'm looking for a way that I'll show you guys. I'm not going to talk about it now, but stay tuned to more videos from 520 Fishing, and I'll make sure that you guys understand. Let's see here. The Fish Hound bumper sticker, which actually I'm really glad that I got another one of these. I did just buy a new truck. And of course, obviously, when I turned in my last vehicle, all my stickers went with it. It's kind of hard to put all those stickers under, you know what I'm saying. So, but that's it for Lucky Tackle Box December 2015. You know, if you guys are not subscribers to Lucky Tackle Box, go check them out. I think that they run a special too, where your first box is like $4.99. So for under $5, you can get a Lucky Tackle Box sent to your house. you can have a chance at all these baits. And let's face it, for $4.99, if you would have got in on this deal, I mean, this live target bait's more than $4.99. So even if you were just looking for a live target crankbait, you already made your money back, and all the other stuff's just extra stuff. You know, most jigs, you know what, $3, $2, $3, sometimes more, depending upon what they are. You know, you throw a little crankbait in there, $4, $5, $6. You know, go buy a pack of mustads. Heck, you get a $5 gift card to Tackle Warehouse. So even if you're just buying stuff and you spent $5, you get free lures, and $5 goes towards Tackle Warehouse buys. You know, Z-Man hula skirts. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. As a matter of fact, here's the retail value. The live target bait was $13, which is about right. Hula skirts, $4. The football jig, that was actually $4.79. The spider parts, the Cabin Creek, and the heads, $10.79. The Rick Clung, $7. These the little mustads, $4.50. So, you know, you're getting your stuff. If you guys are into fishing and you want some extra baits, this is definitely not a bad way to go. I do it every month. I love it every month. You even get a little coupon here on the Baitmate for $1 off Baitmate. So if you turn out that you like this stuff, now you got $1 off. All you gotta do is just tear the little coupon off, take it into the store, you get $1 off. I mean, how can you go wrong, right? And you get a cool bumper sticker. That's got to be worth $4 or $5. All right, maybe not. But either way, you still get a cool bumper sticker. You get to put it on your car, or you get to stick it on your tackle box, your boat, your whatever. I got stickers everywhere. But anyway, don't forget to continue to check us out at www.520fishing.net. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/520fishing. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like us on Facebook. Because here's the thing. Freeman and I, we've been talking a little bit, and we're getting ready to start unleashing some of these gift packages. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually take some of these contests, right? And we don't want to run like a contest. Well, we're going to run some contests, but once a month, what we want to do is we want to give away a prize pack. And the only thing that's required is that you like us on Facebook and you subscribe to the YouTube channel. And what we're doing, honestly, is we're waiting until we get 100 subscriptions on YouTube. So if we can get to 100 subscriptions on YouTube, and we get a lot of hits, but people for some reason, I don't know what your problem is, subscribe. It's free to do. I'm not going to send you any spam mail, I promise. I'm not going to invite you to a bunch of events through Facebook that you don't want to be part of. Believe me, I promise. Because I hate that too, right? All you're doing is liking us on Facebook, subscribing to this YouTube channel. If you do those two things, then you can win some prizes. It's free. All I'm going to do is send you a message through Facebook or email through YouTube, or a message through YouTube, something. I'm going to announce a winner. All you have to do is say, hey, you're going to talk to me. You're going to shoot me your address. I'm going to ship a package out to you. It's going to be free to you. You're going to open it up, and you're going to have whatever we decide to give away, which we have been talking about some reels, we've been talking about some rods, we've been talking about some line, we've been talking about a lot of different stuff. And as a matter of fact, we're actually getting ready to do kind of a sister company to this as well for hunting. So, you could actually win some hunting stuff if you're into that. We're going to have a little bit separate of a channel and things like that, but nonetheless, they're all going to be there. So stay tuned, check it out. Don't forget, 520fishing.net. God bless America, and we'll see you next time here. I'm Moose. Take care.